Alright, my wheels are chalked and the keys are in my possession. I will now begin my pre-trip. First thing I do is look under my truck for any oil, coolant, or repair steering leaks. I check above my truck for any cables or hanging down branches. My 2 clearance lights at the top are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Color should be amber. My 5 clearance lights on my truck are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Color should be amber. My windshield is properly mounted, not cracked or broken, no illegal stickers, no leaks. My windshield gasket is properly mounted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My windshield wipers are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, not obsessively wore. My mirrors are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. My mirror frames are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. My turn signals are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Color should be amber. My turn signals are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Color should be amber, no condensation. My headlights are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Color should be clear, no condensation. My grill is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. My bumper is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no legal welds. My license plates properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, check for expiration date. My headlight is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be clear, no condensation. My turn signal is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be amber, no condensation. My turn signal is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be amber. My mirrors are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. My mirror frames are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. I will now open my hood. Alright, my air box is properly mounted, properly bolted, properly secure, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My windshield washer reservoir is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My radiator is properly mounted, properly bolted, properly secure, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My radiator hose is properly mounted, properly bolted, properly secure, not cracked or broken, no leaks, no missing clamps. My radiator fan is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing parts. My AC compressor is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My AC compressor lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My AC compressor belt is properly mounted, not cracked or broken. There shouldn't be no more than 3/4 inch play. My alternator is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Alternator wires shouldn't be cut, burnt, or fried, or checked for corrosion. My alternator belt is properly mounted, not cracked or broken. Shouldn't be no more than 3/4 inch play. Alright, my radiator reservoir is properly mounted, properly bolted, properly secure, not cracked or broken. Check for proper level, no leaks. My radiator reservoir cap is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Gasket's in good shape, no leaks. My radiator reservoir hoses are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. No missing clamps, no leaks. My radiator main hose is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. No missing clamps, no leaks. My oil dipstick I'll pull out, wipe clean, reinsert, pull back out, check for proper level, then reinsert. My water pump is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My water pump belt is properly mounted, not cracked or broken, shouldn't be no more than 3/4 inch play. My air compressor is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My air lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My power steering pump, which we cannot see, is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My power steering pump belt is properly mounted, not cracked or broken, shouldn't be no more than 3/4 inch play. My power steering pump reservoir is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, check for proper level, no leaks. My power steering pump reservoir cap is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, the gasket's in good shape, no leaks. My power steering pump reservoir hoses are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My frame is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My steering shaft is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My couplings are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds, bolts are tight. My steering gearbox is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks, no illegal welds. Steering gearbox hoses are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My pitman arms properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My drag link is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My ball joints are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing cotter keys. The steering arm is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. The tie rod is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds, no loose bolts or missing cotter keys. My leaf spring hangers are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My leaf springs are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing leaves, no illegal welds. My U-bolts are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Bolts are tight, no missing cotter keys, no illegal welds. My shock absorber is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks, no illegal welds. My brake chamber is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My air lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks, no missing clamps. My slack adjuster is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing cotter keys, shouldn't be no more than 1 inch play. You can test that by pushing in on the push rod. My brake drum is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no oil, no grease. My brake pads are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Check for oil and grease, check for proper thickness. My tires shouldn't have no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. This is a steering axle, so it can't have no less than 4/32 of tread. I check my air pressure using an air pressure gauge. These tires cannot be re-grooved or recapped. My rim is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My valve stem is properly mounted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My lug nuts are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no new rust or shiny metal. My inner, outer, and hub seals are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Check for proper oil level. My steps are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My fuel tank is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds, no leaks. My fuel tank hangers are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My fuel tank cap is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. The gasket inside is in good shape, no leaks. My fuel tank lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My air tanks are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My air tank lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. My battery box is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. The battery inside, I check the cables, make sure they're not burnt, cut, or fried, and check for corrosion. My cross members are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My drive shaft is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My couplings are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no illegal welds. My leaf spring hangers are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no legal welds. My leaf springs are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no legal welds, no missing leaves. My U-joint, my U-bolts are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. The bolts are tight, no missing cotter keys. The shock absorber is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. The airbag's properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My brake chamber is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. My air lines are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks, no missing clamps. My slack adjuster is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing cotter keys. You can push in on the push rod and make sure there's no more than 1 inch of play. My brake drums are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no oil, no grease. My brake shoes are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Make sure there's no oil, no grease. Check for proper thickness. I check in between my tires for any rocks or debris. These tires are not steering axle tires. They can be no less than 2/32 of tread. They can be recapped and regrooved. I check the tire pressure by using an air pressure gauge. My rim is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no legal welds. My lug nuts are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no shiny metal or new rust. My inner, outer, and axle seals are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no leaks. I should have DOT reflective tape halfway down the body. My mud flap is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, not excessively worn. My elevator is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, works properly. My tag is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, checked for expiration. My door opens and closes properly. It's properly mounted and properly bolted. My tail light and brake light is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be red. My backup light is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be clear. My 5 clearance lights at the top are properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be red. My tail light and brake light is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be red. My reverse light is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, color should be clear. I do the exact same thing going down this side. My exhaust system is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken, no missing clamps, no leaks. I'll now shut my hood. My door is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. Latches and alarm latches correctly, is working properly. My handle is properly mounted, properly bolted, not cracked or broken. At this time, can you go to the end of my vehicle and check my lights? I will have to start the engine to check my reverse light.